Did you find the meta stuff annoying in the last film? Well, it's more annoying here. Alright, so last film for tonight for me, because I saw this movie last week, and it was supposed to be me, Muha, but they're currently going through a lot right now, and as much as I want to wait for them, it is the point where it's like, I need to get this shit done. So this is Scream 6. Scream 5 came out last year. It was directed by the guys who made Hide and Seek, which is a movie I loved. I thought it was a really clever horror comedy. And they brought some of that chops over to Scream 5. I remember Muha liked it more than I did. I was more annoyed by a lot of the meta humor, which I know is like a staple of this franchise. I get that. That's kind of the whole point. That being said, some of the ways they go about it in the last movie just felt a little obnoxious, mainly from one character in particular who I'm making a point to pull up the names on IMDb now, because I'm going to be talking about these characters a lot, because some of them really annoyed me. Namely, one really annoyed me, and it's the fucking Mindy character. The Mindy character who in the last one was the one who was, like, basically explains, like, here's who you are in the plot, here's where you are in the plot, but she's really smug and annoying about it. She's kind of like that know-it-all friend you just really want to punch in the face, and for some people that's probably me, but in this case it's her, and I fucking hate her. She annoys me so fucking bad. She's back in this one, is where I'm going with this. I'm not a Scream fan. Up until Scream 5, I haven't seen any of the Scream movies. I know enough about them, and God knows the last couple reference them enough that I was like, okay, I can at least get the basic beats of what's going down here. The musical cues tell me when oh, this is a character you should recognize thing shows up. And there's enough, like, references and shit that, it's pretty obvious when you're supposed to be like, hey, this is from one of the other movies. And hey, it's cool that they got Hayden Panettiere back. It's good to see her still working. I haven't seen her anything in a while. As Kirby, I don't know which Scream she's in. I'm thinking 3, 2, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, the basic plot of this one is, like, I like how this movie starts, because it starts off, like, Samara Weaving makes a cameo appearance, who was also in Hide and Seek, and as, like, this teacher that gets the traditional, like, Ghostface stalking going on, and they reveal the Ghostface right away, some punk kid, but it turns out, like, they were trying to, like, him and some other film student were planning to don the Ghostface mask again, and kill the two girls from the last movie, Sam and Tara, whatever the hell you say her name, who have moved to New York City now to, like, be in college, like, for in case of Tara, it's to be in college. In the case of Sam, it's mostly just to watch over her sister, but is super overprotective about it, because, yeah, I feel like that's valid. And neither of them are dealing with the trauma in any kind of realistic way. Tara's choosing just kind of just to party and trying to live the college life. Pretend never happened. Sam is scaring away her therapist. Kind of get that. So yeah, there's these two punks that are originally Ghostface, but it turns out, oh, plot twist, these aren't the real Ghostface of the movie. The real Ghostface of this film doesn't give a shit about movies. Which, like, honestly, as a twist, I kind of liked. Like, there are some stuff involving the Ghostface character in the movie that I did really like. I feel like this Ghostface in particular is much more visceral, much more, like, on the action, like, not really playing games. The interesting is, like, I'm not here to fuck around, I'm here to kill you. So there is a relentlessness to the action sequences that I like. There is a no hesitation, no bullshit, no hesitation. At least for the first half of the movie. Towards the second half, they indulge in that a bit more, and that's kind of where the movie gets a little weaker. But the scenes where it just clearly, like, the Ghostface is just trying to kill you and doesn't give a flying fuck about, doesn't give a flying fuck how, those sequences I liked. And the direction they take initially is interesting, because the whole plot line of this is not only is to have these two girls move to New York, obviously to get out of the fucking town and try to rebuild their lives, but Sam in particular is become the victim of a conspiracy theory online that she was the real Ghostface because she is the daughter of the very first Ghostface, and her ex-boyfriend, I guess, who was the Ghostface in the last movie, was actually innocent. He was framed by her. So this conspiracy is making the rounds, and it causes her to be initially blamed for the Ghostface murders when they start happening in this movie. Okay, I see what you're going for here. You're trying to do like a modern commentary on internet culture and conspiracy theorists, and a lot, especially against women. That's interesting. That is an interesting direction to take. I like that. I like where they're going with that, but the problem is they kind of drop it halfway through. Or at the very least, it becomes a significantly less important part of the film once the murders start happening more frequently. In terms of like who the murderers are, I guessed almost immediately. And even when they tried to do like a fake out or like try to like misdirect, he was like, no, I'm not buying it. It was this. And there's still like a twist on top of that I didn't guess, but for the most part, yeah, I got it right. But, and as far as like reasons to do the murderings and all that stuff, it's kind of weak, honestly, and way overacted. And again, I know that's par for the course of these movies. That doesn't make it less annoying, and it does kind of drag out. And while I do like how it ended, a lot of the in-between doesn't necessarily work for me, and there's some characters that survive stuff they had no right surviving. And I don't care who you are. I get these are campy movies. I get they're not supposed to be taken all that seriously. I understand the intention, I understand the tone, I understand what they're going for here. I just think it's a little much. And that is particularly for the Mindy character, who really pushes my ability, suspension of disbelief. Because especially towards the point where the Ghostface, it's clear Ghostface is back, it's clear he's whoever is targeting the girls. And like they're in another Scream movie. But so this, of course, leads to this pretentious, obnoxious character Mindy going into a long-winded monologue of, "Oh, we're not just in a reboot this time." I shouldn't be doing that voice. We're not just in a reboot this time. We're in a franchise, which means nobody's safe. And like, you could die and you can die, and returning main characters are also not safe this time around. And I'm just thinking. And, like, meta-textually, like, okay, very obviously explicit. I get it. Ha, ha, ha. But, like, in the context of the film, all I'm thinking is, you are a bad friend. Oh, really bad friend. Why would you say this to people? Like, why would, like, you have these thoughts. Why would you say them out loud? Who are you helping? What are you doing? And like, you're just an awful human being, and nobody should be your friend because of you. Like, again, like in Community, Abed was cute, and this is like, but clearly you take that in any other context, and you have somebody that nobody should be friends with. And at least Abed had an excuse, like in the movie, where like autism. But like in this one, like, what's your fucking excuse? You're like, why would you say this to people? Stupid. Did not like it. I was really annoyed by that. Man, anytime she appeared to talk about like anything involving horror movies, I was like, shut the fuck up. But like that being said, like, a lot of the kills are clever. They do take advantage of the fact that it is New York City and Halloween. They have some cool sequence ideas in that. The one that's teased in the trailer with the subway with like many Ghostface in there and anyone can be a murderer. That whole sequence is very clever and very well done. That was a lot of fun to watch. There's a lot of sequences like that again, like Ghostface with a gun is also cool, and the way that is shot in very kind of relentless fashion, in a very tense of this one's not playing games, this one's just here to kill you. And when it leans into that, I think this movie works really well. But when it starts going back into like the Scream territory and the meta text and the meta narrative and those kind of pieces, that's where it just doesn't work, and that's because it's too wink wink nudge nudge. It's pushing you too hard in that direction and throwing it too much in your face. There's a car backing up next to me, that's why my face is weirdly lit. But so whenever it does that, the movie is insufferable. Whenever it's just focusing on the killing and those action sequences along those lines, it's a lot of fun. I a lot of the dialogue in between is kind of hard to sit through. It's not great writing. It's not a good script. But visually it's interesting. I don't want to say the writing's garbage, but it is very frustrating a lot of the time. So like if I had to give this number, I'd give it like a solid 6. I don't know if I'd say the last one was probably a little better. But it's kind of the same vein. So it is a case where if you liked what they were doing the last one, you'll like this one. If you're like me and weren't crazy about the last one, you're not gonna be crazy about this one either. So I think it's all I really have to say about this one, and I don't really feel the need to go into spoilers because again, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of the movie at that point. So if you're gonna watch one, go have fun, but just know your preferences. And finally caught up there. Yay! I am going to try to see John Wick now, which we actually really want to see. Yay! Gonna see if I can try to get anyone on board for that one. And then we got Dungeons & Dragons next week, which me and Sarah are going to talk about. And whatever else comes out, I don't even know anymore. So, thank you all for watching. See you next time.